And we are back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Love y'all to pieces. We are at that lovely time of the week where we get to move completely on from the happiness that we have just bestowed upon us. But man, Bryan, we got to look on to that next team, man. I'll tell you what, bro, I got a couple questions before we get going, man. Just things to think about, man. You know, those first couple games, man, coming into the season, you felt pretty solid about those games. You felt relatively good about, all right, we got Browns and you got Giants and all this kind. We feel good decently about playing against the Steelers. The Ravens was the challenge, right? But you walked away from that 3-2, but still kind of feeling a way about what you did there, right? Boy, Bryan, you're about to run into the Lions, the daggum 49ers. Yeah. You're about to see the Eagles, the Atlanta Falcons over there, and you're going to end it with the Houston Texans. So this first 5 run is totally different than this next 5 run, bro. Can you just react to this second 5 versus this first 5, Bryan?
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because coaches always kind of break the season up into quarters, you know, and you try and get from – you know, 1 month to the next. And then, you know, and then the Cowboys have the Thanksgiving game in November. So you have some like 3 games in 11 days kind of thing. It's crazy what they do with that, you know, or they used to. We'll see, you know, how that all plays. But the thing with this next bit of run, you know, there's some games in there that you kind of, when you were playing the old game of win, loss, you know, when the schedule came out, and you mentioned it, you know, you got this game against Detroit, which we'll talk about tonight. You got the game against the 49ers after the bye. 49ers might be in a little trouble right now with their roster and the health of their roster. You know, we'll see. They got a game tomorrow night, you know, against Seattle. We'll see how that plays. But then, you know, then you look at the situation too with Atlanta has gotten better. Atlanta looks like they're trying to win the NFC South. Yeah. You know, you get another team you could throw in there, you know, is the damn Commanders.
Yes, sir.
You know, I mean, that was I saw a deal from ESPN. I was doing my show and I looked up at the screen and they had win probabilities. You know, they always like to say they always put a % on the win probabilities for the next games and stuff. Every one of those games for Dallas on the win probability of the next 5 or 6 games is 48% or less. It wasn't a high win probability until you got to the Giants, you know, but everything behind everything, you know, from here on out till that Giants game, Thanksgiving was 48% or less win probability. Yeah. You know, but man, I know when I played that game that, yeah, gonna beat the Falcons, gonna beat the Commanders, gonna beat, you know, and you're just, you know, now you probably have one of the tougher schedules in the National Football League with the way this thing is shaken out, and you don't have great health. Now, some good news being at the Star today was Bland. Great you know, news. That's gotten better. That situation's gotten a lot better. And I think we might be in a mode where we get into this game and we start to talk about the defense tomorrow. Well, we can talk about it's the offense actually of the Lions, but if you can get enough cornerbacks to play in this game, Diggs, Carson, Bland, Carson and Diggs,
Jordan Lewis.
And then you got Jordan Lewis. Maybe you can use Jordan Lewis to cover that Laporta, the tight end.
Sure.
You know, if you have enough corners, you know, and maybe because I went back and looked last year when they played, and Laporta didn't have a catch when he had to go up against your corners in this game of last year. Now he crushed Bell, he crushed, you know, Curse, but the others, you know, when he had to deal with corners, it wasn't as successful. So maybe you get a feisty, competitive, battle-tested, veteran, savvy Jordan Lewis playing against him, and you match up everybody else, and you just go after. You go, okay, we're going to do. Now, I'm not saying you're probably going to do it every single time, but maybe you need to think about mixing it up where Ben Johnson doesn't get an idea of like, oh, well, they keep putting a linebacker on him. Oh, they keep putting a safety on him. I think there's going to have to be some coverages in the game where you're going to maybe mess with him a little bit.
And trust me, Bryan, we'll get there. Yeah. But let me ask you another question, big picture wise, right?
But I'm sorry, you were asking me about the schedule.
You good. You good. Yeah. No. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to cut you off. Don't worry about it. You just do you.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question though, Bryan. You got these first 5 games versus these second 5 games. I think everybody will agree that these next 5 games are tougher than your first 5.
I agree. That part I do. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Bryan. Voch says this. You would agree that this team is going to live and die by its offense, right?
It is now. Yeah.
Bryan, Voch says this. Would you say these first 5 games and these next 5 games, these 10 games altogether, would you say that you've played the toughest defenses that you're going to play already? Would you say these 10 games, right? The first 5 and the next 5, right?
Yeah.
You can lump Baltimore in there. You can say Pittsburgh's defense, just a broad look of things, Bryan Bros. Even the Saints did some weird stuff, right? But would you say that those defenses are better than what we'll possibly see with the Lions or the Falcons or the Texans? Those are some good defenses, but I think we face some of the scariest guys with the Ravens and Pittsburgh and even the Browns, if you want to consider them, Bryan.
Yeah, for opening day, with everybody being healthy, that's. I think you make a really good point. I'm looking forward to seeing Detroit when we get done this evening. I know you've taken a little peek at them. I'll have them ready for us tomorrow when we do our stuff. But San Francisco, I'm interested in because it sounds like they're might be pretty beat up over there.
Yeah.
Atlanta, we'll see. I mean, they've made a lot of acquisitions and stuff. Looks like their offense is kind of figuring some things out. Philadelphia, really, who knows with Philadelphia what they're going to do?
We're going to beat the shit out of
Houston will be tough. And then you got the Commanders, and the Commanders look like to me they're really good on offense and maybe not very good on defense.
Yeah.
So to your point, yes, you're absolutely right.
So here's my grand question, Bryan. Here's my feature presentation, the grand finale. Do you think, and look, you are right. So Washington is considered, so let's just say the next 6 games, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's sustainable for the Cowboys to try to win these shootout type games? I think about Cowboys versus Seattle last year, right? Wasn't a lick of defense played in those games. It was just Seattle scored every time and the Cowboys scored every time +1. Do you think it's sustainable? Because that's what I think these next 6 games are going to look like, Bryan. I think if you're going to play against the Lions, you got to score. The Texans, the Washingtons, all these kids, you got to score points. And I'm encouraged from what I seen Mike McCarthy last week, play calling wise, scheming wise. We're running rub routes and motions and stuff like that. So if Mike McCarthy's going to be in this bag, I think we can do it. But Bryan, do you think it's sustainable? And do you think it could be done that the next 6 weeks we're going to have to win these games via high offensive output?
Yes, to the point of high octane offense to win. Yes. No, because they're not going to play Tyler Smith at left tackle.
Hold on, bro. Wait. I got you, bro. I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, if they were to play Tyler Smith at left tackle until they figured some things out, then maybe, and this is where the player personnel in me is a little sad. I'll give you credit once again for anybody that's new to the program. Voch had his concerns about Tyler Guyton pre-draft. Had concerns. And they look like the concerns are valid right now. But if they play Tyler Guyton at left tackle these next 6 weeks, could he get better? Sure. Is he going to get better? It's going to be, now the defenses aren't as good. You're right about that. Maybe he will finally draw a matchup or two where he's better than the guy he's playing against, But if Dallas were to commit to the offense that ended the game against the Steelers, let's go. But if you're going to insist that Tyler Guyton is the left tackle going forward, then there's probably going to be some struggle along the way, but I like the idea because I think that you're so, I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen. What's going to happen with this defense? I think that the defense, the guys like, with Wheat and Golston and others had success, because I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line is all that great.
Broderick Jones, Dan Moore. Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that in our build up for the game. We talked about they don't second level block. They don't, there's a lot of things that they don't do, and I think your guys, I think their players had struggles with your backup guys, and hey, great job, like I mentioned, all those guys, Golston, Wheat, Lawson, great job, really. But you're playing a different group this week, and we'll see. But you're going to need your offense to hum.
Yeah. And
I don't know if it can hum like it needs to with Tyler Guyton playing left tackle.
Fair enough, Brian Broaddus. Let's go ahead and talk about this Detroit Lion offense, Brian.
Let me ask you this: if I could circle back, did it? Please. Do you feel the same way, or are you thinking it's going to hum still with Guyton playing left tackle in that way?
I think the offense can hum because I've seen it hum with Cam Irvin, Cam Fleming, and all kind of nonsense at tackle. And I'm glad you asked this. I was talking to Foots earlier today, and I think it's a great place to say it here. He was asking me how should we who should we use and where should we line these guys up or whatnot. Yes, Tyler Guyton struggled.
Yeah.
But he's just gonna have to.
I'm totally with you on this.
He is 100% gonna have to, because the issue that we're gonna run into regardless is wherever Tyler Smith doesn't play, we're gonna be bad at the other spot, right? Yeah. So TJ Bass got a lot of praise, right? But if you watch the whole film, he started off real good, and then Cam Hayward started beating the shit out of him later. It just is what it is. So in my mind, I think TJ Bass lost just as much as Tyler Guyton did. It's just that we started to win once Tyler Smith moved or whatever, right?
Once Herbert got hurt, it helped the situation for sure.
I think you just need to be better at left tackle in general. I think put Tyler Smith back at left guard, just be better at left tackle in general.
Okay.
So now your question is, hey, can you do that with Chuma Edoga? I think you can do it with Chuma Edoga. But at the end of the day, Brian, it hurts me to say this because I've been pretty critical of Tyler Guyton, but the only way he gets better is for him to get whooped in these games and figure it out.
I appreciate your honesty that way, because I'm going to ride that way. But I don't. There's a side of me that thinks that maybe you always talk about the best five, and I don't know right now if Tyler Guyton's the best five. But you know what? Hopefully, you're about to play some defenses that doesn't have Myles Garrett and some of these others rushing off the edge.
Well, Brian Broaddus, your best five is Tyler Smith, left tackle, Chuma Edoga, left guard, BB at center, and your right side. But they'll never do that, Brian Broaddus. They'll never.
No, they won't. But I, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that would say, well, no, just play Smith out there and do it. Worked the other day. Why are you changing that? Your future is Tyler Guyton playing left tackle.
Yep.
It really is. Now, people want to say, well, why don't you kick him on the right side over there, and take Steele out of the mix? They would never do that. But then again, I never, last week, I didn't think when they had that injury last week that they were going to go with Tyler Smith out there. I'd never believed that was going to happen.
Yeah, and plus, just being honest, I think Terrence Steele is better than Tyler Guyton right now. Plus, Terrence
totally is.
Terrence Steele has blocked T.J. Watt versus Guyton blocking Herbig, and Steele was still better. So I don't think moving Guyton to right tackle would make much difference there.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Man, Brian, boy, I wrote down on my notepad, man, on my little Scantron. I wrote it on the back, Brian. You know what I'm saying?
The back of the Scantron. Yeah.
I didn't want to mess up the bubbles. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't want to mess up the bubbles, right?
On the back of my I wrote this about our beloved Detroit Lions. Can I back that up a little bit? Can I move that over there?
What'd you say? I got glare issues. What's that?
Yak.
I got you.
Yak. You got to come up and tackle these dudes, Brian, bro. You got to come up and tackle these dudes, man. They got two damn good running backs, Brian. It ain't just Gibbs. Montgomery get busy too. You know, we're definitely going to talk about the O-line because they need their own 10 minutes with how good they damn are. But these dudes, you have to come up and tackle them. They don't really throw the ball deep a whole bunch. So they'll get these low to intermediate plays and they'll run after the catch. Laporta will catch it short, run after the catch. Jamison Williams will get a little crosser or something, run after the catch. Amon Ross, Sun God St. Brown will line his ass up in the slot and move all over the place. And then he'll go back the way he was. And sometimes he might even go back over there to the other side, Brian. You got to follow him around. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to run across the middle, catch the ball. He's going to yak all up out of here, bro. You got to tackle them, Brian. You got to tackle them. Jahmyr Gibbs make me sick with his standing up running back stance, just standing straight up.
That. He's just like he's standing like he's like waiting on a bus.
Brian,
he's looking around.
He's so fast, he ain't even got to get in the stance, Brian. Yeah. And one day we need to revisit first round running backs and talk about whether the hate of it is nonsense or not, because that dude looks worth 12th. He looks like he's worth 12th overall to me, Brian.
I got a lot of hate. That was that good running back draft. Well, there was one last year. Yeah, but the Bijan one, and I had 2 first round running backs. I had him and Bijan Robinson in the first round, and people were like going, "Well, how do you got your running backs?" I'm like, Robinson, Gibbs. Yeah, they're like 2 first rounders. I'm like, yeah, 2 first rounders. Yeah, you know, you're talking to a guy that loves running the football. Seriously, I love running the football. It's the most demoralizing thing you can do to a defense if you're good at it. And like the Lions, they're good at it. Yeah, they're good at it, and they've got a crazy ass head coach that gives their OC 4 downs to play with. You know, and they will run the ball. They don't care. You know, we played a team last week that was volume run. Sure. That was no good. We're about to play a team that's volume run and really good at it. You know, and if you the way they do it, the way I have a feeling, you know, in watching the Seattle game and watching the Arizona game, if you're going to play 4-man line against these cats, they are going to trap you all day. Sure. They're going to pin you. They're going to trap you. And they are going to, there's a lot of movement with that front. Now, watching the Arizona game, the one thing that I was encouraged, Arizona slanted their front. And, you know, okay, it's a little bit of a gamble. Do you slant to the strength? Do you slant to the weak side? But Arizona was able to make some plays behind the line of scrimmage by slanting their front. And then, you know, here the Detroit linemen are coming off the ball and they're all hard stepping to their left. And now the Cardinals are all stepping hard to their left. So they're stepping opposite the direction of where the Lions are going. And every one of their guys got into a gap. And so is this the Tampa game? Yeah. Right here? Yeah. Yeah, it's Tampa. Yeah. But Arizona did some really, really good things with them as far as trying to play the run, but play the slant fronts is what they were able to do. So I gave them a lot of credit for that and for that particular. I don't know if Mike Zimmer wants to. Now, there was a time when Zim in the early 2000s, because we were such a small line, that we would play a little slant front, you know, trying to kind of, you know, jump in gaps and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a hard thing to deal with right now because yeah. See, now I'll say this, Voch, and I'll let you visit with me after this one. Sure. When you watch these offensive linemen, we talked last week about the inability of the Steelers to get anybody on the second level. Sure. These guys, it's very similar to what the Saints and what the Ravens are probably going to do to you. They don't waste time. They are going to two-hand shove that defensive lineman to the next guy, and they believe so much in their ability to finish one-on-one that it's a shove and a go. Yeah. It ain't even like, hey, like the Steelers, let's stay on them here and see what we get. You know, let's stay on them and, you know, try and push this guy. No, hell no. It is a shove and go. And so, yeah, I kind of
well, see, Brian, I think when you have 5 dudes that can play, like there's no urgency of, all right, we need 2 of y'all to get movement on this guy and then go block the linebacker, right? Like if I'm, you know, Decker, I trust my guard to deal with this dude. Or if I'm, you know what I'm saying? If I'm Zeitler, I trust Rag now to deal with this guy. Like, hey, get him and I'll just go. And what happens is that they get on these linebackers. It's so smooth, Brian. It's like squiggly lines out there. They just trust each other and they get to the second level and they get those damn linebackers blocked, Brian. And I wonder if this would be a game to where your quick slashy linebackers could possibly have an advantage, maybe. Yeah. Because they move just a little quicker. Would this be a game to where like Damone Clark plays a little bit more because of the athleticism or something like that? I don't know. I can see Kendricks getting blocked a whole bunch this game. I can see. Yeah. But we'll have to see about that. But fair point. They do not waste time at the line of scrimmage. They don't care about digging you out of the gap. They just go get the linebackers. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. You watch them, it literally is a snap, a push, and a gone. They're pushing you as they go up the field. So, here's the nightmare of having to deal with, the games that you've won, teams have not gotten to your linebackers. Yeah. Games that you've lost, blockers have gotten to your linebackers. And this is where the rub is can Dallas, and they're going to get, you're going to get the quarterback. Goff's going to play under center. He's going to walk the ball back there to, and the patience that these two running backs, Gibbs and Montgomery play with, they take the ball, they kind of wait, they watch the thing develop, and then they go. And they're really, really good at it. And you're going to get huge play action off that. I think their play action pass are right around 39%. Sure. Play action this year. Dallas is near the bottom. I think the Lions are number one play action team. The Cowboys are 28th at 19%. Yeah. Where but that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a big time running game.
I found one for you, Brian. Take a look at your left guard and your center right here. Like they don't really waste time. They just kind of pass them along and just move. Yeah. They pass them along and just move on.
There's just no like you see there. This is something you have to worry about too. Go back real quick if you could. The motion, usually if you could stop right there, stop so I can explain something. Sure. Usually the motion will come across. So you see the wing standing there, and you're going to go. The motion will usually come from a tight end, and it usually will go. He'll go across, but then what happens? You could follow. There's been a lot of times where you could follow the movement of the tight end right there, and the ball's going to go right to that spot because they will run that wing or that blocker as fast as they can across the formation. It's almost what San Francisco does when they get Kittle or Juszczyk, and they run that blocker and get him going up the field, and then it kind of creates pressure on your edge to have to deal with the blocker that's running right at them. But then you get the return motion here. And now it's going back the other way. Yeah. So you're thinking, oh, wait, ball's going to go to my left. No, wait, it's coming back to my right. Yeah. Usually if you follow whoever the move guy is, he will take you to where the ball's going.
Can't gamble with these guys. Like you just can't assume that, oh, he's going this way. Let me jump this way to beat that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they'll just go the other way.
100%. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I appreciate you pointing out the fact and showing that the way that they don't really honor if you go away from them, if they see that leg go away, the defender's leg go away, they go up on the second level. Yeah. They're thinking that leg goes away, that's somebody else's guy. That's not my guy. So
Brian Broaddus, let me ask you a question, big dog. Last year, them boys got an attitude with us when they try to get a little too creative, and they put your boy out there, Skipper, and then Skipper start going in motion and stuff. He started declaring, and he started to. Brian, you don't think they're gonna try to throw the ball to Skipper just to get some get back on us now? Do you, Brian Broaddus?
There's no question. They ran the Philly special. Against Seattle
last week.
Yeah. So I mean, they had the off week, but the week before. They were. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm sorry, but they're gonna. This is one of those games where it's going to be, like national eyes on this kind of a thing, and you're going to get some Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell BS stuff that's going to happen. Yeah. Is this it? The Philly special?
Yeah,
right here.
Let me see. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. St. Brown, here we go. Going to hand it to him. By the way, they ran a reverse. They ran a reverse in the Arizona game that was very similar to what we've seen. The Cowboys have yet to play a reverse very well.
Mm-hmm.
If my mind serves me right. I mean, I think the Saints ran a reverse. I think the Ravens ran a reverse. They've yet to, and you're going to get a reverse from this team right here.
Yeah.
Get ready for that. But yeah, I think it really starts with, the play caller's excellent. The backs are excellent. They catch the ball well. The one thing I will say though is, I think Gibbs has a little trouble as a blitz pickup guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And you watch him, if he has to block, that maybe it's a problem there. I think if you're going to attack into these offensive linemen, this is when you maybe could have used Micah Parsons in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think Ragnow, the center, is going to play this week.
Yeah.
Ragnow is going to play. So that means that Graham Glasgow will go back to playing guard.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll probably play the left guard. Glasgow and Decker have been the guys that have given up the most pressures.
Mm-hmm. And
they both play on the left side.
Yeah.
So if you want some hope, if you're looking for hopium, if you're looking for some hopium here, two of the higher pressure guys are playing on the same side. And we'll see how that, if you can somehow, take advantage of Decker. I think Decker's the one that he's kind of different of all the other guys are kind of nasty, mauly kind of guys. Mm-hmm. He's kind of more of a finesser, like a catch, steer, turn guy. Mm-hmm. Boy, if you could just get the corner on him and, just take it hard down inside, I don't think he could stop you that well. But he's given up the most pressures on these dropbacks.
So, Bryan, you was watching the film.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff doesn't get sacked much.
He doesn't.
Do you feel like when he does get sacked, it's normally like a coverage sack? Like it's him holding the ball because of something that happened downfield, and then that's when they'll eventually get to him?
Yeah, I think that's the issue right there. If
I think that's how you get him.
They do such a great job. I mean, he has the ability to escape. Mm-hmm. He showed some. I mean, he's not likely going to run, but I will say this: the last play of the game that killed the Arizona game was they faked a run, and he bootlegged and got the first down, and they killed the game from that point. Mm-hmm. So it'll be some selective running.
Sure,
but there were a couple times he was moving in the pocket. You just got to get on him quick.
Sure.
Quick pressure gives him some problems. Mm-hmm. It used to be cold weather and outdoors gave him problems.
Yeah.
He's gotten better at those things because his team around him's gotten better.
Bryan, you think the Deron Bland returning this week has something to do with you playing against these dudes?
I would. Bland, I was always told that they were going to try and get this thing to the bye and go from there with Bland. Mm-hmm. But he's made such good progress. They want to, what I was told is they would like to play him like 20, 25 plays in this game, see how it goes, let him take the bye, and then get him full go for the 49er game. Mm-hmm. But damn, it might turn into, now, if you can use him 20, 25 plays, this is where maybe you could play some different coverages. Maybe you could play some coverages where, you can, what we're talking about with Jordan Lewis on Laporta, or mix and match some coverages. Those 25 plays, be creative in what you want to do. Maybe you bring Jordan Lewis on a blitz. Maybe you bring, maybe you have some creativity where you take advantage of Bland being on the field and covering. I mean, they've got a good group of receivers. Mm-hmm. I mean, Patrick, Williams, St. Brown, they've got good receivers,
sure.
But hopefully you've got the corners that can play in coverage, and I would fully take advantage of him being on the field and trying some things if I could.
Bryan, I was looking at some of these other games. I know that they had a pretty efficient day versus Seattle or whatnot. Yeah. But besides that game, it was like a 20-point day here, a 20-point day there. I think it was 26 versus the Buccaneers or something like that. Bryan, how many points do you think is going to take to beat these guys? Like, let's just say the Cowboys show up with a really good plan and we really take advantage of, what they're bad, and we really show it with a decent day of defense. Not a lockdown day, because I don't think we're doing that without 11, right? But let's just say we have a good defensive day with this team that normally scores about 20-something points. Besides what they did with Seattle, how many points do you think it's going to take to actually beat these guys?
I think you're going to have 4 touchdowns. I think you're going to need 28.
Yeah.
If you play well on defense, if you play well, if you play like you've played the last 2 weeks on defense, I just think that this is one. And Dan Campbell even said it himself that this team is getting better on defense. They're better in the gaps. Better. I think some of it has to do with. I don't think the Steelers' offensive line was very good. And the Giants, that could have gone either way. I mean, they didn't run the ball.
Sure.
They didn't run the ball against the Giants. Didn't run the ball against you, so that's a positive. But I think this team makes so many explosive plays. You're gonna have to find a way. Let me tell you, if you get a chance to intercept a ball.
Yeah.
If you have a chance to get a fumble and fall on the ball, don't try and pick the damn thing up. Just fall on the damn ball. Let's, take the ball and move from there.
Sure.
I think it's going to have to take 4 touchdowns to win this game. I really, really do. I think you're going to have to score 28 points. I couldn't see you. I don't know how you do it with any less. I don't. I just feel like that the Lions are going to put a lot of pressure on you offensively. They are. They're very similar. They're very similar to the teams you lost to. Yeah. Quality quarterback play, skilled, good skill guys, running backs, and then an offensive line. I think that's kind of kryptonite for the Cowboys right now. And as banged up as you are at end, I think it's going to be a tough game, but you're going to have to score at least 28 to win this thing.
Well, Bryan, we're gonna meet back here tomorrow, same time, same place.
What do you feel like? What did you feel like? Did you feel the same way?
I think it's gonna take like 28 points. Yeah, I don't think leaning on Arbery is gonna be the way anymore, right?
No,
no. But I feel encouraged because of what we saw offensively last week, right?
Yeah.
We just turnovers kind of killed the points there. But if we score, that's a hell of an offensive output versus a good defense. Right. So in my mind, like, hey man, just every opportunity we need points on the board, man. Like, you need touchdowns in this game and not just Brandon Arbery, holding us down.
No, and I totally agree with you. I'm glad you said that. But I also, if their coach is going to play unconventionally, I think you need to think about it too.
Sure.
I think you need to, and in the press conference, if it goes bad and David Moore asked the first questions like, why'd you go for it 4 times in this game?
I'm against Dan Campbell. I got to.
Yeah. It's. Have they seen what they do on offense over there?
Sure.
Yeah. You can't be kicking Brandon Aubrey field goals in this game. It ain't going to work. It is not going to work. You're going to need to. They're explosive, and you're right. The numbers for the scoring in them there's some teams that have played them pretty well. Buccaneers played them pretty well. I think just to make sure those teams had their defenses weren't compromised like yours is right now.
Yeah.
But it's good you're getting back some guy. I mean, it's good you're getting back Carson. It's good you're getting back Bland. That's a step in the right direction. But man, this offensive line for them is no joke. They're going to have their hands full.
One last question, Bryan. Voch says this. It just came to me here. You're one of my captains. I send you out there, and we win the coin toss. What are we doing?
Yeah. I take the ball. I'm going to take the ball. I just, I'm going to try and set the tone in this. And I know they tried to set the tone against the Ravens and went 3 and out, and it was bad and all that. And but I'm not going to let them get a 7-0 lead on me.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden now we're playing from behind. I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I'll get a little decent kickoff return from Turpin, field position it up. Maybe you find a way to put some plays together. Anything you can do to kind of keep I think you're going to have to score with their offense.
Yeah.
I really do. I think, and you've already seen their defense. I know we'll get to talking about them tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing how some people attack these guys, because it sounds like to me there's some opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Bryan, man, you just stressed me out about this damn team, man. But hey, that's what we do, man. We're gonna have to see. Appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Just a little update. We have 2 jersey winners. Mr. Jab and Mike G have won the jersey contest. Y'all stop putting your entries in. All right, they won it. It's over. It's done.
Congratulations.
Shouts out to those guys. Shouts out to Zach Golston holding us down too on the jersey giveaway. Bryan, YouTube is lit over here. I don't know how many jerseys y'all be giving away over there in Radio Land, but we go crazy over here in YouTube Land. We pass out jerseys over here. You know what I mean? So shouts out.
I'll tell you what. That's why I'm diving into the YouTube things, because it's, you know, the swag you get doing this, and we give away flags. We have flags. We do G-Bag Nation flags we give away, you know, from Whataburger. So not as good as the jerseys, though. I'm sure those people that win in jerseys are really, really happy about that.
Shouts out to Zach Golston. Zach Golston, he has his own sound drop, Bryan Bros, and he's gonna make me play it. So this is Zach.
Take care of y'all bodies, and take care of y'all chicken.
Take care of y'all body, take care of y'all chicken. That is Zach Golston sound drop. So thank you, sir, for donating 2 jerseys for our audience members. Appreciate you. He said, man, Bryan Broaddus, would you? He said, Voch. Zach Golston told me this. He said, Voch, would you please tell Bryan Broaddus y'all doing a phenomenal job with the show.
Thank
Love
you.
what y'all doing. I wanted to use the Doing All Right platform to give away 2 jerseys. So that's where that came from, Bryan.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of him. Very kind. Thank you so much for your kind words. And hopefully we keep things going for you here. But I'm looking forward to, like I say, getting on this Detroit defense and seeing if there's ways to attack it. Offense looks pretty good, but you got a pretty good offense too. So maybe this will be one of these. Maybe we'll get that Denver Dallas game, that Romo Manning game. God, remember that game? How crazy that thing was.
I was working at Pizza Hut, and I was trying not to get on the road and watch the game. It got into the 50s, and I was heartbroken at the end of it.
Yeah.
All right, but that was you had to throw the football to beat these dudes.
I tell you what, you have to throw the football. The thing about it was funny, real quick, if I could.
Please.
I was standing in the end zone with Nick Eatman in that game, and it was when the sun was just blowing through the glass. I couldn't even see what was going on. Me and Nick were standing on the field. I'm going, how can anybody see right now? I mean, it was literally like being on the sun, you know. But hey, don't ask the owner about the curtains or the stadium roof or the stadium or any of that.
I want to ask him so bad about the shade, Brad. And maybe when I meet him, because I'll never meet him again, I'll talk to Jerry Jones, shake his hand. How you doing, Jerry? And we'll have a pleasant day. But at the end, I'm like, yo, Jerry, what's up with them curtains?
You and I will be having lunch up in that Cowboy Club one day, and you'll meet Jerry. And you're like, hey, Jerry, let me ask you a question about the curtains up there.
What's up with them shades, man? Look, Jerry Jones a hater, but I'll be a hero on the internet. You understand me?
You'd be a hero for sure.
We love y'all to pieces, man. Y'all be sure to tap in with me on the internets there, Voch Lombardi on all platforms. I ain't gonna say nothing, but Bryan Broaddus says a lot and he reads your comments. Appreciate y'all for commenting on last night's video. We appreciated Will Steele for coming through, kicking it with us. It was a good show. All right. And for the rest of y'all, man, we'll hold it down until next time. Love y'all to pieces. Crown.